Welcome to Podcastville, and greetings and a Happy New Year from the Church of What's Happening Now. This podcast is brought to you by My Bookie. Let me tell you something. Bowl season's here, and it's time to get in on the action with My Bookie. Are you sick and tired of getting the runaround when you ask for a payout? Sign up at mybookie.ag today and get paid fast when you win. My Bookie is your hookup for all your betting needs. So go to mybookie.ag today. And what they're going to do is match your deposit with a 50% bonus. Use promo code CHURCH to activate offer. Visit MyBookieAG and use promo code CHURCH. You play, you win, you get paid. That's the most important thing. And let me let you in on a little fucking secret, all right? You don't have to be a broke dick for New Year's. New Year's is Sunday. You still got time. You know how many times I bumped into a fucking purse 2 days before New Year's? So could you. There's bowl games tonight, there's bowl games Thursdays, and there's bowl game Friday. One pick, bet it till his fucking wig falls off, and collect on fucking Monday. And Sunday you get that little 8-ball and hang out with that little girl you've been looking at. You know what I'm saying? Freak out with her, play some Cosby. Anyway, number 2, let me tell you something. The year went, and whatever the fuck happened, but 218's coming in with a fucking storm, and you want to be ready, right? You want your shoes shined, you want your fucking suit dry cleaned, you want your eyebrows trimmed, your hair done, but most importantly, your asshole has to fucking clean. You want it to be at midnight. You want that fucking muffler to be shiny, tip-top magoo. There's paper, I know you wipe your ass with that fucking petrified tree, but that don't work. But you know why? Because bidets are back, bitches. No, Tushy Bidet is a motherfucker's motherfucker. It'll clean your ass better than any toilet paper on the market. It uses clean water to spray your fucking little muffler, providing you with a shower fresh feeling after every fucking disgusting shit that you take, you filthy fuck. No more skid marks, no more sugar burn fairies hanging on your fucking ass crack. Just the cleanest asshole in the fucking office, you understand me? A fucking nun could eat out of your ass. That's how fucking clean it'll be. So go to HelloTushy.com right now and use code CHURCH for 10% off your order and start the year off correctly. You understand me? Lee, take that fucking mule. Rudy Sarzo in the house. The Christ Killer in the house. What were you telling me now? You used to play this song?
Yeah, that was like the opening song of set number 1, Ladies' Night, which was usually Tuesday in Miami. Free drinks for all the ladies. So, you know, the ones with the drinking problem will show up like a first set, you know. And what happens is just a bunch of chicks. And they'll start dancing together, you know. And a couple of drinks later, it got interesting, you know.
What year was this about?
Yeah, it's about 70. That's when disco, 70, 71. Disco is kind of like, it happened almost overnight. You know, what happened was that all the big dance clubs in New York, and anything that happened in New York in the summertime, by the time the wintertime came, a lot of people, you know, snowbirds, they would migrate to Florida, Miami. Right. So anything that was happening in New York in the summer, it would reinvent itself in South Florida in the wintertime. So all of a sudden, it wasn't about bands anymore. And if you were a live band, you had to play what was being played at discos. And disco, you know, disco means record, disco, you know, places that just play records, you know, like DJs do now. That was, you know, this is like the beginning of the DJ, basically. And chicks dug that. Because all they wanted to do was just drink and dance and not have to deal with the guys like myself who wanted to pick them up, you know. we were just a nuisance to them.
You know, it's crazy how I saw that the economy did great over the holidays. Retail picked up 4%. Fucking, online picked up 18%. Rudy, what happened to the bar business in this country?
The bar, I've been married for so long. I haven't been at a bar in a long time.
From 70 to mid-85, 1990, you went out 7 nights a week.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you were anything from 18 to fucking 30,
yeah,
you were out 7 nights a week. Yeah. And then when you got that girlfriend, then you went out 4 nights.
Yeah.
But you went out Monday night for sure. Because it was Monday Night Football. If you were single, you went to ladies' night, and then Friday and Saturday.
Absolutely. You know, I stay at, once in a while I'll stay at a Holiday Inn. And Holiday Inns back in the day were notorious for happy hour. where you actually, you went in and you got some food for free, happy hour. They fed you during happy hour, which is, I think it was invented so people wouldn't drink and, like get off work and kind of like not go on the freeway, but get a couple of drinks before you drive, just to calm yourself down after a hard day of work. And they will give you like these little sausages and, just like finger food. But when I was a starving musician,
shit,
I used to live off that shit.
Oh my God, the little pieces of cheese with crackers and shit. Yeah. What's that? What's the spicy cheese? That's got the
jalapeno.
Pepper jack.
Pepper jack.
Pepper jack.
That pepper jack gets old and shit and hard, and you'll still eat 10 pieces like you're fucking on a ship.
Velveeta
No,
cheese.
I would never eat fucking Velveeta.
With chips on top.
Oh God, no. Oh my God, they used you know who had a happy hour? Believe it or not, you know what? One of the best happy hours? My mother.
Oh, yeah?
That's how she transitioned the Irish to accept her. My mother put that bar there in 1958, 57.
Wow.
She had the other Spanish place down the block from her grammar school. So when she opened up the bar, there was a kitchen in the back. And that, my mother, I take a lot of her qualities. I like my food fresh, bro. I don't like old food. I could taste old food because I don't have it around me growing up. So whatever my mom would make for lunch, she put on the line on a table at 5 o'clock. It was already cooked.
Is that in West New York?
This was in Union City.
Union City, okay.
So all those bus drivers would come in, eat lunch, because it was across the street from the bus station.
I know, yeah.
And then at 5 o'clock, they come in, have masita puerco, black beans and rice. Bro, when you're white and you eat those black beans and rice, you lose your fucking mind.
And I remember the projects were right across from the bus station.
By Union City?
Yeah, Union
No, this
City,
is Bergen Line Avenue.
Yeah.
This is Bergen Line Avenue.
Okay, I got it.
So you're talking about the back end.
Yeah.
That's New York Avenue.
Yeah.
That's New York Avenue where you go around and on the corner there. See, right there, my mom had that bar right there in the corner. 2 doors down was Speakman's Bakery. Yeah. I don't eat sweet food because of that bakery. Because I used to go home and go to Speakman's on top of Hashway Chan's. They had those cookies and the strawberry shortcake like nobody made. You go in there and take number 99, and they were up to number 2. And everybody was getting a strawberry shortcake. You went to church in the East Coast in those days and stopped at the bakery. That's how I was raised. Right. From church, you went to the bakery. You came home about fucking 10:30, 11, and then you ate whatever the fuck, strawberry short. Not the Cuban side, my white side. After my mother died, that's how every fucking body I grew up with was raised.
How expensive were drinks back then? Because that, like, honestly,
$1.
So what would that be? Like a $5 drink today? Something like that?
Like an $8 drink today.
Fuck.
An $8 cocktail,
It's still cheap.
You got to remember, when I was in high school, there was a place in Nyack, New York, that on Monday Night Football, they'd give you 6 bottles of Bud for $1. And the place would be fucking mobbed. Think about that. 6 bottles and a bucket for $1. We'd sit there with 6 people, $1 to debt. $1 to debt. We'd have buckets everywhere with ice. $1 to debt. $1 to debt. They didn't care, Lee. They got you out. Ladies' night, what he's talking about. Look what he's talking. He's talking about a time when the alcohol was free to women.
The whole night?
Probably from like
8 to 11.
Yeah, because they didn't give a fuck if you crashed in those days. Yeah. If you crashed and went into a school of bus kids, they didn't give a fuck. They didn't even claim he wasn't here. If he was seen leaving here, we don't give a fuck what you saw. Everybody was drunk. How did they remember nothing? Nobody gave a fuck in the 70s about that shit. When I came around in the early 80s, it was 50 cents a drink for ladies' night. So you just gave a chick, come here. Here's $1. Go knock yourself out. Get me and you a drink. Okay. Here's $2. What the fuck? It was 50 cents a drink. They don't have ladies' night no more.
No.
That doesn't exist no more because they don't
happy hour now.
I mean, every time I think to drink, I'll just be like, why am I just get a bottle and go home. Like, to me, there's never been like an incentive to go to a bar.
Now, when I was a starving comic in Seattle, McCormick and Schmitz, I want to thank you. If anybody knows anybody at McCormick and Schmitz headquarters, tell them they kept me fucking eating. Because from 2 to 5 and from 10 to close, they had a $2 menu. Cheeseburger, fish and chips, a soda. a Coke in a bottle, those little ones, $2 a piece during happy hour. But you didn't give a fuck. I'd eat one of those with water, clams on a half shell. That's a happy hour.
Yeah.
You know, if Morton's had a happy hour from 10 to 12, I'd be in there 4 nights a week. And they made like a milkshake, like a night milkshake, like with a little bit of vodka in it. A little like a fucking Coco Loco. I'd be in there 4 nights a week, 415 pounds I'd be right now. I wouldn't give a fuck. Happy hour. And then, as I got older, you know who kicked the happy hour into fucking high gear? The Sheridan in Lyndhurst, New Jersey. By 1985, what they put out, Rudy, would make you fucking, you would kill you. Steak on a stick. Because now the happy hour got popular. So to get people there, why would I go to your bar, Lee? I got the same hot dogs here on a bun that you got at your shithole. Well, fuck it, I gotta lift my game up a little bit. So they would start getting like cheesesteaks and cutting them into little ones. And then somebody fucking just started putting platters out. And the Lyndhurst Sheridan in 1985, bro, the Knicks would be there. And it wasn't even basketball season.
So you guys would go to hotels, like just in cities that you lived in, just to drink?
No, you found out. The word got out. Listen, Wednesday night, there's a happy hour at the Lyndhurst Sheridan that fucking rocks. 5 o'clock. First time I went there, they had steak, Chinese steak, like
yeah, beef on a stick.
No, not beef on a stick. The other one, like steak with broccoli.
Beef and broccoli.
With white rice. Ooh. They would cater shit every fucking Wednesday from a different restaurant. Shit. I would go there and get a soda and eat like 10 plates of food. I was starving and shit. And how I knew about the place, a girl I knew, her house burned down, and the insurance put her in that hotel. And she would call me and go, I just saw Lawrence Taylor downstairs. Come by. You're not going to believe this place. That was the extension of the happy hour. Fuck it. And then in Boulder, that was the best happy hour. Wednesday night, they called it professional night. And they gave away free shrimp. Shrimp that you took a chance eating. Yeah. But that's what they were known for. If you ever go to Boulder, you go to one of the broker restaurants. They don't bring you bread. They bring you a shrimp bowl.
Boulder, Colorado.
Yeah.
How did they get the shrimp there? I mean, it's like, it's nowhere
near
the ocean.
If you eat that shrimp, it's like buying a lottery ticket. You're taking your life in your own hands. You know what I'm saying? They got it out of Boulder Reservoir, those little ones with the shell. So you had to de-shell them.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So they'd bring you, Lee, I'm fucking on mercy. They'd bring you a bowl this big. The middle would have red sauce. And it would be fucking 2 inches of those shrimp, peeling each shrimp on a bed of ice. They didn't bring you bread. That's what they brought you. And you would sit there with your date, dip.
That reminds me of my father, first time he went to Las Vegas, the buffet. He had never been to a buffet before.
Oh, Cubans go
Imagine
crazy.
a Cuban at a buffet.
Oh, no, they go crazy.
And it's usually like that. You know, like you're talking about, he'll go to the shrimp bowl. And that's it, load up the plate with shrimp. And he would sit there and start sweating because he just couldn't eat anymore. He was full. But it's, you know, it's buffet, so it's all you can eat. Yeah, it's the principle.
And Cubans get mad at the white people for eating lettuce at a buffet. Mira el blanco. Mira come pinga eso comiendo ensalada. Yo aquí comiéndome camarón and crab legs from Katrina. Shrimp with eyes, they're missing an eyeball and shit. Katrina shrimp, but we're living like doctors. We don't give a fuck. Look at that white dude eating fucking salad. Look at that fucking moron. Fuck him. I'm over here eating prime rib.
Oh, man.
That's crazy. That's the truth. Yeah, that's how we think. Fuck him. Look at that white dude making toast.
Well, Rudy said as he came in, he's like, the media, we were talking about Cuban food. He said the media noche sandwich was because your parents thought you would, like, not suffocate,
starve
to death in the middle of the night. What are you talking about?
Yeah. When you're sleeping, it's 8 hours without food, so you know you're going to starve. So you eat a sandwich before, so that will take care of the next 8 hours.
And let me tell you something.
I think I was born to be Cuban.
Lee, God forbid you had a Cuban grandmother that lived in the house.
She'd wake you up again.
that you're her grandson, but you're her son's son.
Uh-oh.
So your mother naturally hates her. That bitch's job is just to fatten you up. and she'll tell your mother to go fuck herself. Like, she's the only one that can tell your mother, oh yeah, this is between me and my grandson. Get the fuck out of the room. And your mother's looking at you like, don't eat that fucking thing. And you're like, I'm a grandma, bitch. Tally ho, right, grandma? Oh my God, Cuban grandmothers will kill you, dog.
Now you're bringing Nochebuena.
Yeah.
Nochebuena in Havana. Growing up in Havana, I was a little kid, and the first sign that it was going to be a rockin' Nochebuena was the sound of the pig getting slaughtered. Right in the neighborhood, we lived in the middle of Havana, and you would go down to like a lot, like an empty lot, and somebody would slaughter the pig right there. I mean, I'm not proud of that now.
No, that's what it is. That's
the way I was raised.
That's how it is.
And then before you know it, at night, they bring the whole pig with the pineapple or whatever apple in the mouth, and it still has like little hairs on the skin because they were not able to like shave it off completely. And you just pick the rind. Pork rind. I grew up on pork rind. Stuff that just horrifies me today. But this is how we grew up.
With the fat attached to it.
Oh my God, yeah. And you chew on that.
And you chew on that as a kid.
My God.
It's horrible.
Oh my God, yes. No. I wouldn't even think about it today.
Yeah, horrible. But that's the way that we were brought up like that,
It's in my house there was a ceremony with the pig. Like it was a ceremony, like since I could remember. It was, and I don't know if Nochebuena is New Year's or the night before Christmas.
It's Christmas Eve.
Okay, so this is what they did in my house growing up. Yeah. They went to the bar. Mm-hmm. They went into the afternoon to the store and killed the pig. Mm-hmm. They went to Marglanzano's. They got the pig killed, and it got delivered to my house already. Mm-hmm. And then at 3, my mother would come home with her girlfriends and take the guts out, the whole thing, and then lay it on a metal pan and marinate it. But the marination took 10 hours. So they'd snort coke and drink and marinate the pig and sing Christmas songs and shit while they were fucked up and make eggnog and shit. When I would wake up that morning, the Christmas Eve morning, they would be fucking lit. They would be lit, and they go and come back, and by the time you get back, the pig will be ready. They would, marinate that thing for 8 fucking hours.
Garlic.
Mojo is and tell them how bad a Cuban refrigerator smells. Can you tell people, like, if you leave a soda in there and you got to open it up, even the metal stinks like fucking garlic and shit. And you're like, mojo. I can't drink this fucking soda. All I taste is garlic.
Mojo is garlic and naranja agria. Naranja agria.
Oranges.
Which is sour orange.
Sour orange.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's the mojo.
That's what gives it the flavor to the pig.
Yeah.
And they would sit there rubbing that motherfucker.
Would that freak you out as a kid, seeing a pig? Like you just learned about it?
I wouldn't even look at it. I wouldn't even look at it. I wouldn't even
any better,
I would look at like my mother would go, look at his teeth. And I'd fucking shit my pants. And I'd run out of the house and shit. I come back 10 hours later, that motherfucker was cooked to the gills with his eyeballs still in and shit.
And are these like family recipes like that your moms have been passing down?
Everybody
I can't imagine this isn't a cookbook.
I mean, it's just like a Hawaiian luau. They do the same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
This has been done by every fucking nationality.
Oh, but I'm just saying like
cooking of a fucking,
like each family probably has its own like different little take on it, or because it's like I don't know, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool thinking, I didn't get this out of a cookbook. This is something that's been that my great grandpa would taste it and know exactly what the fuck this is.
It's handed down generations,
and they each have their own fucking retarded way of doing it. You gotta bring the pig in from the north, or something. You know what I'm saying? Like it's always something. Like no, he's got to come in through the back door. You got to drag him to the back door. He can't come in through a pig. A pig can't come in through the front door. He's got to come in through the back door. What the fuck are you talking about? Doesn't matter. We don't have a back door. Put him through the back window. Next thing you know, you fucking got a pig committing suicide in the back with a noose around his neck because you're fucking bringing him up to the 4th floor and shit. It's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy. I got away from that shit early. By like the 5th grade, I was done. I was done with that Cuban shit. I had had it. And then I would avoid all those things, but I would still go to my mother's bar because I'd make money up there.
Oh, my God.
Those Cubans would always give you 20s on the holidays and 50s. So I go up there for a night and walk out of there with 400.
For what? What do you have to do?
Just hug people.
Okay.
Just hug them. How you doing?
I'm available.
Good to see you. Oh, my God, you've gotten so big. Are you doing great in school? Yes, here's 50. And the drunker they got, the more jokes I told them and the more 20s they'd give me. There was a couple bookies that would come in there that would go in there with pockets full of money. And I knew it. And I'd hit them up before they left. What's going on, Doug? Let me tell you a joke. How much for you to go away, little kid? 50. Bang.
50.
Oh, whatever. 20. I would go home. And then my mother would tell me the next day, like, how much did you get last night? And I'd lie to her. No fucking bullshit. He gave you 100. He told me he gave you 100.
What was there anything for New Year's Eve? Like, is this whole time of year big, or is it just Christmas?
This is the Cuban holiday starts on the 17th of December because of St. Lazaro's birthday. Traditionally, it just goes from there.
It's Santa Barbara on December 4th.
It's December 4th.
Yeah.
It just goes.
Yeah.
So December 4th kicks up.
Yeah.
That kicks up for about 3 days, 2 days prior. People get prepped, and then once that cools down, the 17th opens up with St. Lazaro, and if you got any blood in your fucking veins, you just keep going till Christmas fucking Day with your kids. And then you go to the 7th of January. Oh, my God. Cubans go to the 7th of Los Reyes Magos. Los Reyes Magos.
What is that one?
That means you get cash on the 7th.
I like that one. I knew it.
Traditionally, it's the day that the wise men arrive
Okay.
at the manger.
And they give you money for that?
They give you money
They
for
give
it.
you
Perfect.
frankincense and myrrh.
I'll take it.
What else they give you?
Oh, that's what the wise men they brought in: frankincense, myrrh, and some spices.
It's great. It really is. I miss all that shit. I don't miss the craziness that comes with it because that means that usually a relative comes to stay with you for 17 days who rats you out from all of your little shit. You know what I'm saying? Like they're always up when you come in. You can't come in anymore with red eyes because they'll catch you because they watch TV in the living room. That's what I hated about that time of the year. They always got a crazy relative that stayed with you. That sucks ass.
And do you guys
Good old days.
miss it at all? Like as Christmas goes by, like this year, I started thinking like I miss. I went and saw this thing in Burbank. They were lighting a menorah, and I was singing the songs, and it just brought me back for a second to like being a kid. I was like, oh, this is. I can see what the benefit of this is.
If I miss that, I miss what I just told you because I didn't appreciate it while I was going through it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't really. I looked at it for something different than what it was.
Yeah.
You know, but I saw how much effort my mother put into December 4th.
Yeah.
And I saw how much effort she put into the holidays, like starting the 16th and the 17th. And you have to stay up the 3rd. Like in my house, you have to stay up till about 1 on the 3rd. And then you have to stay up till about 1 on the 16th. But to bring in the 17th.
Yeah.
And you'd have to stay up Christmas. New Year's, you got to stay up.
And what is Cuba like during this time? I can only imagine.
I don't even know.
You mean now or
during this 4-week
or back
party
then?
period?
Well, you know, we used to have carnivals, like carnaval, con las comparsa. Comparsa is like the big parade, you know, of like floats for a whole month. You know, and it was like the one in New Orleans, but every weekend for a whole month, like 4 of them in a row every weekend, which led up to what you're talking about, you know, las celebraciones de Santa Barbara and everything, you know. But I don't think that they do that anymore in Cuba. Maybe now because, you know, things are changing a little bit. They're improving the conditions, but not for the last 50 years, you know.
How fucking crazy is that they can't live the way they live down there? It drives them crazy.
Yeah, I know.
I have to call my fucking sister, Rudy. I don't do it because the conversation's always painful.
Yeah, I bet.
You know, and I offered for her to come up to sponsor her for a month. She said she was too old. She don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
You know. Every day I go, I gotta call her, and I don't fucking call her because, you know, it's just one of those things that just bothers the fuck out of me. You know, I wish we were all together. I just saw my other cousin. My other cousin came up about a month ago and sold out the Theater on Vine. Her and her little Cuban band.
Yeah.
And then my friend Stacy Pocaludo is going to New Year's for Christmas. Christmas for New Year's. And she's going to my cousin's bar, La Factoria. So she's going to say something to him. I said, you know, say hello to him for me. I talk more to his sister than I talk to Eki, so. What are you going to do? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The best thing this week was your fucking Hired Guns movie and shit.
Oh, you got to watch that?
Fuck yeah, I watched it twice.
Yeah.
It took a while. Like, I knew it was out in Sacramento that weekend. I kept trying to go back to the hotel and watching it, but I would get too stoned and pass out. There's nothing worse than watching something when you're not going to be attentive. Yeah. No matter how bad you want to watch it, no matter how bad you've been waiting for it. If you're tired, you're going to miss shit. You're not going to watch it right. Then you're going to go to bed knowing that you didn't even fucking finish it.
Yeah.
Now you still get up again and have to watch it again, so fuck it. I just watched it like 6 o'clock when everything was ready. I got nice and stoned. And it was a world I knew of. I didn't know it. And I know there's more to that world.
Oh, so much. Yeah.
There's so much more to the hired gun world. You know what I'm saying? Now, when you were in Quiet Riot, you were not a hired gun. You were part of that band.
No, yeah.
And even with Ozzy, you were really not a hired gun.
Ozzy I was, but White Snake, sort of, yes, no. It was in between, both, you know. The whole term hired gun, basically, everybody, even the Beatles, at one point, they were a hired gun. They were hired by this guy, Tony Sheridan. And they made a record, My Bonnie Lies Over the Ocean, before they were signed as the Beatles. So everybody has a bit of history. Jimi Hendrix was a hired gun for Little Richard, the Isley Brothers, King Curtis, everybody, Led Zeppelin, Jimmy Page, one of the most successful studio guitar players, John Paul Jones, he was a conductor and a studio musician. So everybody has a bit of history. And people that do it, let's say Steve Lukather with Toto, he played on all the Michael Jackson records while he was still a member of Toto. We are musicians. We love to play. Anytime that I get a phone call or nowadays a text or something, somebody asking me, hey, are you available? And if it sounds like something that's going to be fun and quality, I'm there. Because I love to play. I love to play music. I'm one of those guys who's very blessed that I did not get to have to play the same 20 songs for the rest of my life, which is what I really wanted to do. But now that I look back and I go, man, I know guys who this is all they do. They do these 20 songs for the last 30 years. It's not a whole lot of fun,
That was one of the things about the documentary that struck me, is that they weren't negative about it. But even, I forget the name of the person saying this, but they said Plan A was to be like the headlining band, and this was Plan B for him. But to me, I don't know, the hired gun almost seems a little bit preferable in some ways to being like the band where you're out there and you have to play the same 20, or you're worried about things selling out. Like, as a hired gun, you're just going there to play and you're done. Like, that's what it seemed like to me, is that you were paid to play and all the other stresses were gone.
Yeah, I mean, there's some disadvantages about being a hired gun, is because you're not really part of usually of the creative process, because you just hire after it's been created. Or even a song's been written. You don't really get hired, to have an opinion, basically. You get hired because there's a vision and you are going to fulfill that part of the vision the best to whoever's hiring you. Say, okay, I have an idea who's going to be great for this. And you get that call, basically. But having said that, being a member of a band like Quiet Riot, it was really wonderful to be part of the creative process too, that you really don't get to do that as a hired gun.
So as a hired gun, usually you get hired to go on the road to promote.
Well, anything. It could be a tour. It could be to play on a record. I play on more records nowadays than I've ever had before, for the simple fact that I have time. The reason why I have time is because let's say right now I'm in the Guess Who, and we do weekends. We go out and play, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We're not in a bus traveling around the country. We go home. When I go home, I play on people's records. Either go to the studio or they send me the tracks and I record them in my home studio. Very simple. Back in the day when I was in Whitesnake, let's say, we would have 4 or 5, at least 4 videos on MTV, which meant that every 2 or 3 months they put out a new video, which meant that they extended your tour. We toured for a year and a half. By the time you got off the road for that tour, you're back in to do pre-production for the next record and the next tour. There was no time to do anything else. for anybody else.
So wait, does,
You know.
does that mean you were on the road straight for a year and a half?
Yeah, well, you will come home every 8 weeks for about a week.
Oh my
because
God.
because it was done by legs. You would do like the East Coast, then you took a break because even the crew, you have to. It's not just the musician; it's the crew. They need to see their family, spend some time at home, and then we'll get back together again. Because again, you don't want to have too much of a break because if you do, you miss. The crew is going to do something else. 1 week is enough for them, and then they start looking for work. So if you took off like 6 weeks, well, you're going to lose your crew. The people.
That makes sense. Right.
So you keep everybody busy, but sensibly. A balance, a very small balance, but at least nevertheless, you'll be considering everybody's needs.
A year and a half.
Yeah, a year and a half. Yeah.
Now, while you were on the road, were you writing also?
We didn't have the technology that we have nowadays. Yeah, you come up with ideas and you put them on your one of those voice recorders, with a tiny little. That's the technology we had in the 80s. Those little micro cassette recorders that you got a Radio Shack. That was it. Nowadays you can actually make a record on one of these things, or an iPad at least.
You hear like the old Sabbath albums. They were done while they were touring. Like the second, third, and fourth.
That was very popular.
While they were touring.
I played in bands that did that. When I played with Blue Oyster Cult. They used to do sessions during the week and go out during the weekends. And I believe the Guess Who did recordings like that. But see, I came in right at the very beginning of the MTV period, and those were massive tours, massive. When I was with Ozzy, both Blizzard of Oz and Diary of a Madman were recorded before Tommy Aldridge and I joined the band. So we toured for Blizzard in the United States and Canada. Then we took a month off, just 1 month, and regrouped in the UK, and we went out on tour. For the European and UK leg of Diary of a Madman. We didn't start touring Diary of a Madman until December 30, opening night at the Cow Palace in San Francisco.
What year?
In 1981. So in 81, we did two tours in 81, back to back, for 2 different records. Blizzard, took a month off, came back in late October, and started touring for Diary of a Madman. And that tour went on until July. And then we did a couple of festivals, and then we recorded the Speak of the Devil Black Sabbath re-recording at the Ritz in New York, 1982. And that was the last show I ever did with Ozzy.
No shit.
Yeah. 2 nights at the Ritz.
I had that album. I don't know what the fuck happened to it. I think I had it on cassette. In 1983 in Snowmass Village. I used to listen to that album from the Palladium. Now let's say, okay, like the biggest story of hired guns ever for me were like the Eagles. And early on, the Eagles had a lot of people who switched and left. Mm-hmm. The guy from Toto left. This guy left.
The Eagles?
Yeah, some guy didn't really want to be in the band any longer. Yeah. He left. And then they got Feldman. The original crew was like Feldman, the drummer,
Henley,
and somebody else.
That was it. That's the original.
Don Feldman, that's his name?
You had
Feldman,
Randy Meisner was the bass player.
Randy Meisner, then he left.
And Leiden. Leiden was the utility guy. He played mandolin, solo, he played like all these.
And then Joe Welsh joined later.
When Bernie Leiden left, Joe Welsh came in. And then Randy Meisner's last record was Hotel California, the bass player. Then the bass player from Poco came in the band.
The Indian.
Is he Indian?
No, the big Indian. The one that sings "I Can't Tell You Why."
Yeah.
On the last album.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
The last run. The final. The last run or whatever.
Yeah. Great singer, great bass player. I mean, from Poco. Poco was a great band. I saw them a bunch of times live.
Is that Draw the Line? Poco.
Poco.
Draw the line.
Oh, that's Toto.
Toto Poco. I saw Poco open up for, I think it was either Poco or Toto. Open up for Ted Nugent, Aerosmith, Frank Marino,
Yeah.
Mahogany Rush.
Yeah.
Toto.
Yeah.
Was
So, yeah. The Poco was to me the guy that stood out in Poco was Rusty Young. Was not related to Neil Young. He was a steel guitar player, but he stood up. He didn't sit behind the steel. He played it like it was a lap steel, but almost like a guitar. He stood up playing it like a guitar, and the guy was just phenomenal. Phenomenal. Yeah.
The thing that baffles me the most, all right, you're a hired gun, you come in for the tour to strengthen it. Let's say, you laid the tracks and you're coming on a tour to strengthen the tour. That's what I thought a hired gun was at, or that.
But by hired gun, it's also a way of networking and not only building your resume, but your trust factor. That's when people start trusting you. That's when you start getting like, hey, we need a guitar player. Oh yeah, I just finished doing a tour with so and so. I mean, he was great. He was, he was on time. He's my bud. Let's call him up. That's how I get a lot of gigs, because people know me. I've toured with a lot of people. The reason why I'm in the Guess Who now is because I was doing a tour with the Jeff Tate version of Queensryche, and we had Sass Jordan play the part of Sister Mary because we were doing the whole Operation Mindcrime record, and we became buds. And when it came time, like the Guess Who, they're looking for a bass player. Sass told her husband, Derek Sharp, who is the singer in the Guess Who, hey, why don't you call Rudy? If that wouldn't have happened, I would have never wound up playing with the Guess Who. Because it's like you don't even have to audition at that point. Even though I consider that I audition personally every single day. Every single day, I got to show up with my best game. Because the day you don't, that's it. It's over. Everything you've been building all this time. But in the sense of auditioning, can this guy play the songs? That's pretty much, I'm past that. Now it's the point of, is he going to fit in at personality? Because of course, you don't know until you get together and you spend some time, on the road playing the songs and proving yourself. You build that trust. But at least the initial thought of, I know this guy, I already been with this guy, on tour with this guy, I trust him to do the gig. You then become part of a very short list. So it definitely has its benefits of being a hired gun. That's how I got the gig with Ozzy, because Randy knew me from playing with him in Quiet Riot in the 70s. So when they were looking for somebody really quickly in LA, if they would have been looking for somebody in London, it would have been a different story, because I know Ozzy and Sharon knew 100 guys that they could have, brought in. But here they are in Los Angeles looking for somebody, and it's like, they don't know. And Randy kept saying, listen, everything that you need, that you're looking for, all the qualities, Rudy has them. He's not going to be a bad influence on Ozzy. Drinking, he's not an alcoholic, he's not a drug addict. He's going to show up, do the gigs. You can depend on him. He's going to play these songs. So it was kind of like the night before I did the audition, I met Ozzy. Randy brought me over to we were staying at the Beverly Hilton, and we were there at Trader Vic's. Remember Trader Vic's? We were having scorpions at Trader Vic's. And Ozzy, I'm talking with Ozzy, and he goes, man, just do me a favor, just be able to play. That's it. That's all, because I had the gig already, just because Randy had recommended me. So the next day, right before I did the audition, I got together with Randy. He showed me, a little, because I had to pick it. I had never heard the songs. And like overnight, I was auditioning for this band, So Randy, he run me through it. And okay, so I did the audition and got the gig. And it changed my life. I mean, really change your life, just in a moment, and that could have been that could have gone the other way. It could have been the moment that you regret not getting the gig for the rest of your life, but it didn't happen. It went the other way.
Well, that story kind of freaks me out in a little bit. Like, it's one of the coolest things that you've got to do. You love having been in Black Sabbath, but the only like one of the main reasons you got it was because you were in the right city. Like that's
Absolutely.
like
You have to be.
You put all this work in.
You
Like,
have to be.
personally, and you're like, oh, I just happen to be in LA.
If you listen to 99% of these success stories, timing is everything.
But it's not even timing; it's just luck.
No, it's timing. It's everything.
It wasn't just being in LA. There was a lot of people in LA.
Oh no, you're an amazing artist.
No. There was a lot of people in LA who were even with a huge resume that because they were already rock stars could not be trusted.
Oh.
The Rainbow was full of guys like that. The Rainbow Bar and Grill in the 70s was full of guys who did not get anywhere or they did not get anywhere until they went to rehab and cleaned themselves up. Because one thing is to have the chops, the other thing is to be dependable.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
And not be an asshole because,
Well, I'm not saying that you got lucky because you obviously put the work in and you were a talented musician, but in the end, the thing that tipped it over was that you were in the right place at the right time.
Timing is everything. It's amazing.
Yeah,
if you look back at your life and your successes, you were at the right place at the right fucking time.
But you know what? This is LA. LA, if you're going to be in the entertainment industry, this is, at least back in the 70s and the 80s, this was the only place. Let's put it this way. If I wanted becoming a rock star, if what I wanted to really achieve was the lifestyle of somebody who was going to drink, have a bunch of chicks, do a bunch of blow, I would have just stayed in Miami. I already had that. It was right there. I already achieved that. I want chicks? Yeah, sure. How many chicks? Every single night. Just go to the clubs. I'm playing in bars. Cocaine? Psh, the best cocaine came out of Miami or, came to Miami. Alcohol, cheap. Cars, Corvettes, whatever, that's not. I wanted to be a musician. I wanted to be creative. I wanted to be an artist, and being a rock star was not even in my radar because I didn't even know what it was like. But I knew what it was like to go to the concert and see the guys, my heroes, move me emotionally, and I go, shit, I gotta do that. I'm a musician. I'm halfway there. I'm already playing an instrument, but I want that creative outlet. And to get there, it's at the beginning, it's a freaking mystery, man. You just have no idea how you're going to do it. It's like you. When you got into comedy, did you know how to do it, how to get there?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. I had no idea.
It's a journey. I mean, and you're basically blind. You're blindfolded through the whole journey. I mean, sometimes you cannot even see in front of you. You cannot even see how you're going to survive another day. But you do, somehow.
In 1985, I was clean and sober for 4 days. And I got to get into the television business. And my basketball coach in the 8th grade was a camera guy for Good Morning America all his life. He did it for like 40 fucking years, Steve Rubinaccio. And I called him so much and bothered him, he stopped taking my calls because he's like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, I don't know. I just want to get me a job over there. Do you want to carry sets? Do you want to be a light guy? I go, I don't know. I think I want to talk to people, but if you got a job carrying things, I'll take the job carrying things. I just didn't know where to start. You don't know how to get into something, and it bothered me, and I forgot about it for a while. And it bothered me, and I forget about it for a while. Until one day it bothered me so much, I actually did something about it, That's the way I look at it.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's your purpose in life. People call it dreams. In LA, for some reason, there's been the city where people have a dream and they come here. Somehow they just get here, and it's like once they get here, it's just a matter of surviving it. So it's one of the toughest places to survive. But then again, unless you come here, you ain't gonna achieve your purpose. People call it, oh man, I got dreams. And no, they might come to you and seem like a dream because you start getting ideas. Oh, I want to become an actor. I want to become a comedian. We're going to become a singer, a songwriter, whatever, a musician. And you must go to LA. You must be here. This is where the industry is. This is where you're going to audition. This is where you're going to present yourself. This is where you're going to be hanging out in the places where all the people that make decisions, they are. This is where the agents are your managers, who it's actually it's the conduit to get you from here to there.
Right.
This is where they're at, and these are the people who are going to mentor you and tell you, well, listen, I got these clients, and in order for you to become like this, my star clients, you have to listen to my advice. I'm pretty sure that you work with some people like that who actually mentor you. I have. And thank God for that. And thank God that I actually listen to them, And LA is built on us dreamers. The dreamers. We come here. The people with a purpose. The people who figure out, I want to do this for the rest of my life. I came here alone. I had some girlfriends, but it wasn't the type of relationship that I was going to drag them through hell. I was ready to drag myself through hell to get what my purpose, my dream. I used to call it a dream. Now I realize it's a purpose in life, what it is. And I was willing to do, within within a moral framework, because I still have, my spirituality and my religious guidance. But within that framework, I was ready to do anything, to survive anything. And I did. If I would have had a plan B, I would have never gotten as low as I did, which is basically sleeping on somebody's floor. Basically, can't afford anything. Couldn't even afford food at a time. But I did it because I knew that was my purpose in life, to be a musician. I didn't know how, I couldn't even see how big it was going to be, but I could see that it was going to be big enough that I could make that my life journey, being a musician. And you get to a point that you find that purpose that you're willing to fight for every single day of your life. And you can't give it up, because if you do, it's over. It's over. And I don't know about you, but I travel a lot around the country, and I meet people who, at one point, they had a purpose, they had a dream, and you can tell that dream, that purpose, they never really fought for it, and they're beaten down. And I have so much respect for anybody who comes out here, and even if you, for example, your family, your kids, they didn't come here. They were brought up by you with a purpose, with a dream. They have that in their DNA. They have that. You raised them with that point of view. So once they find their purpose, they're gonna fight for it.
Now, Rudy, with me, I didn't think stand-up was my purpose. I ain't gonna go. I don't know what it was for me. I knew it was my savior, but I knew I didn't really want to pursue it. I knew it was going to be my savior. And we had this conversation, Lee and I, about 3 weeks ago. I knew it. I knew this was the answer to all my problems. And it took me 1.5 years to get on that fucking stage. No dreaming, no I wish, no I want to be this guy. I thought I'd get on stage 2 or 3 times, maybe 4 times, and then on the 5th time, Jay Leno walked in and put me on the Tonight Show and I'd be a star. That's what I thought. And that wouldn't have been fun. That wouldn't have been no good. That wouldn't have been good at all. I thought that, I heard a story about, what's his fucking name? Moonlighting.
Bruce Willis?
Bruce Willis. Yeah. He was a bartender. He got discovered. Well, it didn't happen that way. He went to acting classes and he auditioned and he got fucking discovered. I got fed this bullshit stories that a producer went into a bar and saw Bruce Willis and hired him for a movie, just like that. I thought it was a lottery. I always thought it was a lottery, and I didn't want to believe that you had to work for it. And today, I'm happy I fought every fucking inch. It was like playing the Green Bay Packers in January when the snow melts, and they're getting more snow now, and you're playing in the mud, and you got to fight for every fucking inch, And I didn't have a plan. I did have a plan B, Rudy. The plan B was to move to New Jersey and sell coke. And let that be my end, because I failed at everything else. That was going to be it. That was the plan B. But I don't know. I didn't have the balls to execute plan B. I always knew there was another month. Let me give it another month. But I never even wanted to come here, Rudy. My purpose was not to come here. I just wanted to be a comic that traveled, hid, kept his profile very low, just made enough to squeak by, maybe do a little blow, and maybe have a piece of shit car. If I could live in the van like the wrestler, I would have been good. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted from stand-up. I just didn't want to do what I was doing, which was being a criminal and being in pain all the time. But what you said about the fucking people you see, I got like 3 friends now that I look at, and I know they're a little off because I grew up with them, and I know that they wanted to do and be something different than when they ended up. But because of fear or the drug addiction or kids or whatever excuse they made up in their head, they didn't get to that next level. Do you know what I'm saying? I feel that too. And that's why I do this podcast. And that's why I bust your balls the way I do. Because I wouldn't have forgiven myself if I would have never got on stage. That I would have committed suicide over, and I'm not a suicidal type of guy. But if I would have woke up one day at 56 in Subway sandwich with a tattoo on my arm talking about I saw Whitesnake in 87, I would have shot myself.
Well,
I would have shot myself.
Do you guys think, I don't know, that everyone, if you put in the time, is going to make it? Like, don't you think some people at a certain point just realize?
It's not about making it.
Okay.
It's about going for whatever your purpose was, like Rudy says. Going for it, whether you fail, what's making it?
Right, that's
making
true.
it is what it is for you. Listen, right now Rudy's going on the road with Guess Who. He's been on the road with thousands of fucking musicians. He's met everyone, gold albums, platinum albums. There's a musician somewhere in St. Louis that's a great musician, but he plays fucking he's in charge of the fucking high school music program.
Yeah.
He makes $160,000 a year. He's got a house.
Yeah.
And he's very content. And he's probably as talented as Rudy is bass-wise. And he's very content. That's his
purpose.
That's his purpose. That's what he wanted.
So can I ask you this, Rudy? And I'm not asking for any sort of number, but if you wanted to, could you just be retired right now? Do you have to play music to survive? Or?
I play.
Right.
I can't even imagine not playing. It's like it's not even part of my identity. Rudy, retired, not making music. It's like you might as well just kill me right
Well, let's say if you just retired from the road and produced, would you think of that or no?
I produce. Basically, to produce is I'm a big fan of producers. Some of my best friends are producers. It's a whole different role. A producer is kind of like overseer. Overseer. It was almost like it's like being a director or being an actor. I like to be a musician, as the same as an actor would love to be an actor. A lot of actors go on to become directors, but I know my purpose. I know my dream. You know. Talking about the other people that you were mentioning, right? The way that I like to live my life, and some people, and I used to do this. I used to have like my yearbook photo as the guy that I would talk to, because that guy, that geek in the yearbook, invented this. He's the guy who came up with this, who I am today. This is his idea, right? And I can show you the photo. I mean, it's despicable, but nevertheless, this is the guy who was living in Miami with my folks, and I was just, graduated from high school. I started playing in titty bars in Miami, and I kept saying, okay, this is really cool, man. You got all these naked chicks around you, and you got free booze and whatever, but this is not the ultimate. This is not your purpose. You see, you saw Led Zeppelin, you saw Deep Purple last week. That's your purpose. Me being a Cuban kid, can you imagine? My own Cuban friends used to tell me, you're crazy. You're never going to be playing with these guys. You're a freaking Cuban from Miami. And I say, I'll figure it out. I am going to do it. I'm not staying here. I left Miami with, secure gigs, playing disco or whatever, and whatever entertainment indulgence that I could get, with a suitcase and a guitar. And I went around the country for like 2 or 3 years until I wound up in Los Angeles, because that was the final destination. This is where the music industry was, because I knew, and there was no turning back to Miami. There was no I can always go back to Miami and keep playing the bars and doing no, this is not what I'm going to do. So now, instead of me looking at that kid from high school, the yearbook, I see myself as a sperm competing with 1 million sperms to get here. Just like you did. You were the sperm that beat out all the other 1 million sperms. You're it. You made it. Congratulations. Now what? What should any one of us give up on our dreams? We fucking just won already.
Right.
And
then when you were playing those bars in Miami, were you? Were you proud of yourself? Were you like, I'm doing something, like I'm happy, or were you not satisfied at all?
It was boot camp.
You knew there was something more.
Oh yeah,
that's the problem.
And it was.
That's what I always felt. There's got to be something more. This can't be it.
It was an education.
This can't be it.
Education, and also you get to find inspiration and a little bit of fear, because I was playing the same circuit as Jaco Pastorius in Miami, and Will Lee from the David Letterman Orchestra. I mean, these guys are monsters, and I'm thinking, if these guys are in my in my hood, it's gotta be 1,000 guys like these guys. Of course, I didn't realize there was only one Jaco ever, but nevertheless, that will really inspire you and make you realize how hard you have to work, because even though music is not competitive, a competition sport, the business is very competitive.
Right, and to me, like, seeing what you're saying, sometimes when I see someone who's that great, it doesn't make me, I gotta work. It's like, I'll never be that good, so why?
You can't do that.
Right.
No, because see, that person, it's what that person has achieved is the best that they can be. You need to achieve the best that you can be.
Right.
Because that's complete. There's no competition in that. Because the other person will never be the best you that you can be.
No, I'm just I'm quiet because this is what I was talking about with my therapist today. This is it a lot of times, like, just for me personally, I'll make excuses, or I'll see something, I can't do this because I'm not going to be the best. And something she said to me, she's like, there's only one person who's the best. And I was like, I never even thought about that before. Like, I don't know, like, it's a weird thing to want to be the best, but like, just being okay with working on it, I guess. Being okay with improving and growing.
No, okay. If you don't grow, you die. You wither away. You disappear. Not only that, you get in a competition, the people that keep improving are the ones who go beyond while you're standing still. It's not a matter of just even standing still. If you don't move forward, you're going to get passed by everybody else that keeps moving forward beyond you. See, you need to lose that identity, because as long as you keep telling yourself negative thoughts, you're going to become that.
Oh yeah, 100%. I've been going for like 5 or 6 months, and I'm working on it. But it's just interesting. Like, I don't know. I think what you were saying about Robert Plant earlier. It's like, we just think, you just see these people who you imagine are at the top of their fields or industries, and you're like, there's no like, it's not even like a dream. It's not even a physically, humanly possible thing for me to be the best editor or the best, like. And you're right. You gotta You got to just focus on it.
Let's say Rudy Sarzo is the best bass player in the world.
Right.
And I grew up listening to Rudy, growing up as his fan, his style of playing, his style of movements. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that for 10 or 12 years. But in that journey, I'm going to find myself. And I'm going to have Rudy's style. But it's going to be a 3D version of Rudy's style. Do you follow me?
It has part of his style in it, but you expanded on it.
My identity.
Right.
Absolutely.
So it's my identity I'm putting to that bass. You know, Eric Clapton's a great guitarist, and David Gilmour's a great guitarist. But you blindfold me, and I can tell you after the first 3 chords who's playing it.
Really?
That's what they do.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what they do. That's what they do. Do you think that Eric Clapton sat there at night going, fucking Jimmy Page? No. Jimmy Page do what he do. You do what you do. And that's why people always say to you, the most basic thing, be yourself. Those 2 words are so fucking strong, and nobody ever listens to them. Because we're sold on everything else that we see. We never give ourselves enough credit. Be yourself. You'd be surprised what you have to offer somebody. You'd be fucking surprised. I walk around and I see people living. I got a dear friend that lives this fucking life. And I want to grab him by the throat and bang his head because you're not that person. And the more you keep living into that fucking assumed person, the deeper you're going to get as a human being and as yourself. You're never going to move forward. Once I came to terms with who I was a fucking junkie who was fat, who went to prison, and this is what I'm going to fucking do. And I don't care. Listen, Ralphie May, Bill Burr, Louis C.K., Rogan, Kennison, they were great. They were some of the comics I looked up to. But guess what? I'm not them and they ain't me. And even though Bill Burr's the best and Kevin Hart's fucking tremendous, there's 1,000 good comics. You figure out somewhere along the line that you have something to offer.
Absolutely.
Be yourself. Those 2 words are fucking so gold. But we never have enough confidence in being ourselves.
And it's not even, like, the confidence thing is part of it, but I don't know, for some reason my brain never even worked that way. Like, I never even thought of, okay, maybe you're not the best, but you can, like, you have something to, like that sentence I think is even stronger for me than be yourself. Is like, no matter what level you're at, you have something to offer, whether you're just helping someone, you're learning, or that's huge. That's great.
You know, I started to improve my playing once I stopped to trying to be the best ever or the best around, and I realized that to focus and to be the best that I can be, the best me rather than the best overall.
Right,
best
yeah.
of everybody. Because I got to tell you, going back to the question about retiring, there's so much more about music theory and reharmonization and music, getting into jazz and all that I'm doing now that I know I am not going to learn everything by the time I die or my hands can't move anymore. But that's my path. I am, people ask me, they say, if you don't know me, so what do you do? And I use the 2 most powerful words that I know. I am. I don't even write I'm like shorting it. I''am. I am a musician. Because it's not just about playing bass. It's about musical knowledge, musical ability, and being able to communicate through music and listen to others and know what they're doing and what you can contribute to the piece, the music, the composition. And that is going to take a lifetime and beyond. I'll probably come back reincarnated as a musician and continue my musical journey because I am so in tune with that identity about myself that to finally, after all these years, realize what my purpose is. It wasn't to be just a guy who played in bars and did this and hung out and, played a bunch of music videos. No, it's about being a musician. And I've never been more fulfilled and more clear about my life journey that I am right here sitting with you guys.
And I'm in the same fucking boat. I'm in the same boat because I'll tell you why, bro. Just today, Josh Wolf called me. This morning, we're going back and forth about shit. And he was asking me about my schedule. And I said, listen, after I have the ear surgery, I'm not going to travel for a couple of weeks. And then to top it off, I'm only going to go out 1 week a month. You know, I go, you know what, bro? For 20 years, for 15 years, nobody talked to me as a comic. I just acted. You know, the other day I went to Bert Kreischer's for Christmas. His dad goes, the other day I saw you on 3 different things at the same time. You don't act no more. And I go, they pull me into this fucking stand-up and they forget all about that. My point being that I strived early on not to be the best, but to be a comedian. Does that sound? That's what my thing was. Once I became a stand-up and I started looking around, you know, right now there's this dude that keeps calling me. For the last 4 or 5 weeks, he keeps calling me. He's got a pretty good idea. But you know why I won't do it, Rudy? Because I met him as a comic. In the last 10 years, he's been 4 things. Do you follow me? Mm-hmm. He's been 4 things. He's been a director, an editor, a producer. Now he invented this. I hate those motherfuckers. I'm a comic. Did I ever come in here and tell you I want to be a director?
No.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I'm a comic. You want to make this fucking project stronger? I know how to do that. I know how to make it funnier from A to Z. I'm a comic, and I'm a great comedic actor. You know, when I go on a fucking job now, and I get on a set now, it's been 20 years, dog. Remember, I spent 17 weeks on a set with Adam Sandler dicking around. That's an experience when he would tell you, do what you want to do. Really? Do what I want to do, not what you want me to do. So in 26 years of comedy, you figure 19 years of acting. My first 3 years, I was such a shitty comic. Do you know why? Because I only improvised. Guess what? You guys have never really seen me improvise because I don't let nobody see me improvise.
Even at the store, working with Uncle Joey?
Oh, no. You see me improvise then.
Okay.
But you've never seen me talk to the audience and do that for an hour.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I could do that with anybody. I could do that with the best anybody. I just don't do it because it's not comedy.
Oh.
It creates bad habits. It's a bad habit to get into, and then you don't write, and then you continue to do that, and then your sets become a dice throw. It's a 50-50 set. When I get you, I'm going to fucking get you. But if I don't get you and then try to get you a material, it's not going to be a good night for me. So I don't go that route. When people are paying big money for me, I want you to get the best of me you could get. I don't want to dick around with you. You wanted to see me dicking around, go to the comedy store.
Right.
Or go to the ice house. But when I'm getting $25 from you, $27.50, I got to go in there and bat it. But not to take away from what you were saying. I feel the same way, Rudy. I'm a comedian, bro. And I've studied it. I've studied it in black and white. I've studied it in color. I've watched the combo duos that they put together over the years. And I did something else that a lot of people don't do. I forced myself to listen to it instead of watching it. I've always been a listener. There's a big difference in listening to comedy and watching comedy. And you have to learn how to play to the listener also at times instead of the viewer. That's another thing people don't. You know how I got good by making people listen? This fucking podcast. 7 years of doing a podcast. You learn that people are listening to you. They're not watching. Yeah, they watch. How many videos they watch a week? If we get 200,000 downloads, how many people watch it on video?
50, 60, 70.
This is basically for people to listen to in their car. And I've also loved that. When I first did this with Lee and Felicia, I told them both. They kept saying, well, why don't you? No, I want to take it back to when people listened. People don't listen no more, Rudy. People don't want to listen no more. It's that simple. You know, for years in this country, MTV was great because we didn't get to listen to you. It broke that habit. We started watching you. watching you. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But to listen, you get a different emotion. It's really weird. If you listen to Richard Pryor, watch live on the Sunset Strip, and listen to Richard Pryor Bicentennial Nigga with that album bouncing, and you can hear the waitress dropping the glasses and all that, it takes you somewhere differently. I love that shit.
Well,
That's why I love studio tapes. I don't want your album, Rudy. I really don't want your album. I really don't want the Blizzard of Oz. I want the studio tapes. I want to see what you guys went through, how you changed the bass, how Randy changed that solo. There's you ever see on YouTube when that fucking dude joined Black Sabbath before Dio? Have you ever heard those songs? You want to shoot yourself and jump out a window. I think it was Ian Gillan, and they have him on there singing Heaven and Hell. Oh, no. They replaced Ozzy before Never Say Die. And then they brought him back behind his back.
For Black Sabbath?
Yeah, and they have him singing Junior's Eyes and something else on YouTube. Ian. Oh, it sounds like somebody's shitting in your fucking hat.
Because Ian did the Born Again record.
Right.
Because Quiet Riot opened up on that tour. And I got to tell you, I saw him sweating bullets trying to sing and it's Ian Gillan. I mean, this guy is a motherfucker.
He's a motherfucker.
I mean, he's like one of the motherfuckers, you know, that's it. You know, he's on that class, you know. But it wasn't him. Ozzy is one of the hardest singers to try to imitate. I mean, you know, there's no way you're going to sound or even deliver it just like Ozzy. The thing with Ronnie James Dio is quality. Very few people have that vocal quality. But there's something about Ozzy's voice. It's kind of like Robert Plant, the same thing. You know, that certain range, that certain pitch, that very few people can actually capture that. No matter how much of a motherfucker they happen to be in their own right.
Let me get some shout outs here. And we'll continue that conversation because we'll make the comparison right there. For starters, the church wants to welcome, this church wants to tell you Happy New Year. From Rudy, the fucking Christ killer, and myself, and all the guests that have come on here. We want to wish you a Happy New Year. Great success to you this year. Hopefully you at least go towards your fucking dream, get off the opiates, and make it happen. A little advice to you guys. You ready for this? All those 37 years I snorted coke. I think ever since 1983, I didn't snort coke on New Year's no more. Did you know that? I refused to snort coke on New Year's. December 30th, I would snort like I was going to Pablo's house. But on New Year's Eve, I refused to touch cocaine.
Why?
Because number one, I saw my buddy Roger Holloway get his ear bit off on New Year's 1983.
Yeah.
That was one excuse. But number two, the real purpose was I didn't want it in my system while the year was changing. I always wanted it to get away from me. So for you guys that are trying to get off the drugs, don't start on the 1st. Start on the 31st. Give it a shot. Take a chance Columbus did. Take this from your Uncle Joey. All right. The Big Dog, Josh Gallegos, Tunny Sulman, Swinley 1882, Louis the Kid, Cody Dunham, Mr. Wiggles, Matt Brown, Sandman, and my fucking heart, Mr. Bob Lalingus out there in motherfucking Chicago running things. Also to my dogs in Austin, Texas, Crystal and Bob, we'll see you on the 18th when Lee and I go down to invade fucking Cap City. And our boy Danny Brown will be down there with us that weekend. So we're going to eat Chinese food too instead of barbecue. So just so you know, for you motherfuckers that didn't know, August 18th to the 20th, Austin, Texas. The following Thursday, the 25th to the 28th, Charlotte, North Carolina. Get your tickets now, bitches. What's up, Lee?
Oh, no, I just wanted to give a shout out to a buddy on the church page on Facebook, Paul Vance. We talked to him a couple days ago, so yeah.
Paul Vance, there's Andrew Nandral. I love you motherfuckers. Lorne, Leon, you know who I love. Ookie Spooky, Cleo. You motherfuckers are the backbone. My little Indian and fucking whatever. The white chick in Michigan. I love you motherfuckers always. Anyway, but take it from my perspective. You know, the other night I watched your documentary, then I watched your documentary again. I found you very interesting and just real. You know, just the way you are here. You're a fucking tank. And it's funny, I watched the Ozzy thing. Now I was a diehard Ozzy fan. Listen, when my mother died and I was going through all that shit, the song I was going to shoot everybody down to was Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. Plain and fucking simple. You know, it's interesting that in the documentary last night that I saw Sabbath, or the night before, they actually showed Tony Iommi playing the guitar with his fingers. And for years, whenever he took pictures, he would never leave that hand out where he had the accent to cut his fingers. But on this, they actually show him with the little tips that he made to play. Really interesting. Did you watch the documentary, the end? I loved him. I loved all that shit. Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, the Sabotage, you know, Tomorrow's Dream. When I heard Snowblind, that gave me the green light to snort coke until we shot Pablo Escobar in the head. I mean, you know, I don't have to tell you. And I still remember, like I told you, going into a magazine store and either picking up Circus, look, you see it, or Cream, and going, Jesus Christ, you know, Ozzy is out of Sabbath, and I had saw him with Black Sabbath, and they weren't really that good, and Van Halen was on a tear, so the rumor was he was gone anyway, and, you know, they hired the guy from Savoy Brown to replace him for a while, and nothing really worked out, and then we heard that this dude Dio from Rainbow, and I already had Rainbow Rising. Like, I already had it. I thought it was a great fucking album. But I just didn't see it. I go, that's not going to work. Black Sabbath and Dio is not going to work. And then I went to the place in the Village the weekend they shot fucking John Lennon, and I saw You Guys EP. And my heart almost fucking stopped. You know, Ozzy's back, blah, blah, and then the whole thing. And I think I saw You Guys first.
At the Palladium?
Yeah, but I still went to see Dio.
Yeah.
I went to Philadelphia. I actually drove to Philly to the Spectrum to see Dio.
Spectrum, okay.
Dio with Sabbath, Shakin' Street with Sammy Hagar. All right.
Was Blue Oyster Cult on that too? Was that the Black and Blue tour?
This was way before the Black and Blue tour. This was the very beginning of Black Sabbath touring.
Yeah.
Then later on, they picked up momentum and went with the Black. And then they even made a concert film.
Yeah, I have it.
They even made a concert film. A lot of people don't remember it. I don't see it out. I don't see it on YouTube. I don't know. I never really looked. Black and Blue, whatever. But I was there. I was there when fucking they were spitting at Sammy Hagar in Philadelphia because they're animals. That's why I love Philadelphia. Shout out. They were spitting on their fingers and then going like this, flinging the spit at Sammy Hagar. You could see him singing and ducking it like a fucking Anderson Silva.
Oh, my God.
And Black Sabbath, and when he put his fingers up like that the first time, he's like, generals gathered in their masses, just like Christmas. I go, we gotta go. We gotta go. But my buddy had eaten 2 Quaaludes. He ate 2 hits of acid, which turned out to be 2 blue Quaaludes. And he just passed out in the concert. I mean, he was on the floor snoring, waking him up. Rego, wake up. Until he died, we would always go to, remember those blue ludes you did at Philadelphia? They weren't ludes. They were acid, you dumb fuck. I was just tired from the night before. They were blue ludes. Knock it off, all right? But all that shit, that album grew in me like a herpes crack hoe. That fucking Heaven and Hell album, it got stronger by the day. And today, I listen to that album once a week. The whole Heaven and Hell. I'm not a fan of the Mob Rules, but I'm a big fan of Heaven and Hell. That guy took me little by little. It was a very slow fucking finger in the ass, Ronnie James Dio. Sabbath, the love I had for Ozzy transferred right over to whatever. I didn't go with any of them because of the voice. It was the belief in their voice and the conviction on what they were singing that made me believe in Ozzy Osbourne. You know, you bastards, all that shit. I don't think Dio could replace Ozzy, and I don't think Ozzy could replace Dio. No. They're irreplaceable. Yeah. It's the style and what they brought to that band. Did I know that at 16 and 17? Not really. I was too stupid to figure that out. I figured that out years later when I saw other singers and things leaving bands. And I like the first Back in Black. But by the time for those who sucked the cock came out, for those who liked the rock came out, Rudy, I'm not gonna lie to you, yo metí un patín de pinga. That just wasn't me. I was a Bon Scott guy, and it wasn't until recently. Remember a couple of years ago, you came in here and you said something funny to me. You go, you know what, man? I put in a Dane Cook album the other day. Really wasn't that funny. Was it you that told me that?
Yeah, I loved him in high school. I was
It
obsessed.
just really wasn't. I even had to turn it off. I was so embarrassed that I liked him. That's the way I feel now. I listen to Motley Crue, early Motley Crue. Shout at the Devil. I love Looks That Kill. That song makes me want to snort coke and eat somebody's asshole. As soon as that song comes on, and I like the other one, Piece of the Action. But I got to tell you something. He can't sing for dick. You know, that was just fumes. You ever see the movie The Rat Pack?
Yeah.
On HBO, they did the re-thing of The Rat Pack.
Yeah.
And the comedian Bobby Slayton, who was playing Joey Bishop, said to Dean Martin, boy, weren't we great tonight? And he goes, kid, relax. One of these days, these people are going to wake up and the hangover's going to be over and they're going to go, what the fuck was all the commotion about? Because it's like we get caught up in a fog with a lot of music in our lives. I can't stand fucking AC/DC. I think that is terrible. Between Brian Johnson and fucking, who's the other guy I just talked about? The singer from Motley Crue?
Vince.
Just god-awful. God-awful. We just got caught in such a trance. Tommy Lee with the drums and the old guy sitting there being 90 years old. It just sucks you in.
Why was there an old guy there? He was part of the band?
He's got to be, I don't know, if he's fucking, if everybody else is 50, he's got to be 80 now, right? What's the guitar player's name? What's his name?
Mick Mars.
Mick Mars. Great fucking guitar
Just sitting
player.
there being old.
But hoy I said, ese tipo tenía 50 in 1994. In 1984, when that album came out, that guy was 50 already. The only thing that was holding them together was the heroin and the Scotch tape. That's it. That was holding that motherfucker together.
Oh, my God.
Right or wrong. I just saw him on the old heavy metal show, and he could barely talk. He's like, I'm thinking of going on tour. Yeah, good luck. You're going to want to do one show a fucking week? He's old, bro. But in 84, that dude, I'm telling you. But I don't like fucking none of those singers. Still today, I put Ozzy on, and I fucking love it. This morning, I listened to my favorite off Diary, SATO. That's my favorite off fucking Diary. Tremendous on there. You're tremendous. Everybody's fucking tremendous.
Well, I'm not playing on that record.
You're not on that record?
No. Diary and
So who the fuck played on that record?
Oh, the same rhythm section that played on the first record. Those records were done back to back within a month of each other.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
He had all those songs.
Yep. Well, Randy did. Well, now, I mean, if you look at the trajectory of that band, it was never the same after Randy died. Musically, making records, it was never the same. Never.
Randy knew how to make a record already at that age.
Randy was very educated, you know, about music theory and composition, which was basically virtually very few musicians that I have ever played with. And I'm talking about the guys like Steve Vai and Tony McAlpine who actually got an education. Steve Vai went to Berkeley. You know, he studied music. But everybody else that I play with, you know, and of course Randy. Randy had music education. His mom owned a music school not too far from here. You know, so Randy knew music, just like any of the top guys. You know, like the Jimmy Page, and you know, people like that. He could read. He was reading classical music and writing classical compositions. Very rare in the rock world at that time. Very, very, very rare, especially the Sunset Strip bands. Very rare. You know, Eddie Van Halen was another guy that was schooled in music. He knew, he knows, you know, he's still with us, you know, so, and you can tell by the quality of their creations, of their compositions, the timeless quality of it, because they knew how to incorporate certain ingredients to make those songs classics.
Now, it seemed, I don't know if it was to me, and I hate to say this, in a way, but you're right. I mean, about first time I saw Eddie, it was a different type of guitar. Mm-hmm. It came from somewhere else. It wasn't Michael Schenker anymore.
Yeah.
It wasn't Tony Iommi. It wasn't. You know, Joe Perry. This wasn't David Gilmour.
Yeah.
It was a very unorthodox fucking guitar. And then Randy Rhoads took that guitar and ran with it. You know, the beginning of Suicide Solution. That little guitar thing he does, right? Doesn't he do it before? So that you could tell that they came from different schools of thought. Like
well, to me, the song "Diary of a Madman" itself is where he made that statement of like,
I fucking love that.
It's just incredible.
That fucking solo, and in fact, that's what we're gonna close with. Diary of a motherfucking Madman. But no, this is Music 101 today. But I'm happy you came on and even just talked about. It's so hard to understand what your purpose is. What a fucking lousy thing teenage years is and your early manhood, because not only are you figuring out what you should act like as a man and everything, you also gotta figure out so much at one time. You gotta figure out again what your purpose is. Because I'll tell you what, if you don't figure it out and you do decide on something else, it eats you alive.
It will.
It eats you alive. Those are the people you see that are heavy and they get on a plane and you look at them and you can see that the misery's pouring out of them. You know, there's a difference between success and success. There really is
financial success and whatever. Like, that's what I'm saying. There's two different things.
I could see the guy that makes a ton of money. Like, I gotta tell you something. At times, I didn't want this shit comedy wise. It's too much for a guy like me. I love comedy as a hobby. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like it as a hobby. As much as the pressure of having to have new materials and an outlook on life sometimes, I don't dig it sometimes. I liked it when it was just a plain hobby. I liked it when it was just a dream. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's an old expression, sometimes it's better to want than to have. I'm like you now. I've already accepted I'm a comedian. I am a comedian. This is what I do for a fucking living. I don't want to direct. I don't want to play the ukulele. I don't want to, I don't want to do nothing. Again, and writing is a part of this comedian too. You have to write comically or whatever. You still have to write. There's so many aspects to being a musician and a comedian, not just going on stage and performing. In fact, the preparation, there's so much preparation for that final product that I wish people would know. And the only way you would know is by doing it. There's so much preparation. These last 3 weeks, Rudy, I haven't thought about Dick. Every time I think of something funny, I push it out of my head. I don't even want to think about something funny. I just wanted my mind to breathe again, to cultivate, to fall in love with the art again.
But tell me, have you watched other comedians during that when you take the breather?
No, I refused. I was thinking of going into the Ice House tonight and watching Rogan just sit in the back with a mask on.
But you make a specific effort because you made a choice. You make choices.
Yes.
And why is that?
I'm doing this from scratch. I don't know if Netflix is going to give me a special. But if they do, I'm starting back like Rocky did. I'm going to that fourth wall every night to do 5 minutes, to look at young comics' eyes, to see what they go through. You said something very interesting, and I hope this doesn't offend anybody. You go to the Rainbow. I've been to the Rainbow twice, and both times I left there disgusted. Because I just saw people dressed up as musicians there.
Interesting.
That's what I saw. I didn't see Rudy Sarzo. I didn't see anybody. I didn't even, how I know that I didn't see a future Rudy Sarzo in there, because of their attitudes. I could tell. I didn't see it in their eyes. I just saw guys wanting to be Lemmy. That's all. Every time I go in there, it's people wanting to be Lemmy. And to be good at this and to be where you are today, you have to be so much in love with what you're doing and so clear-headed. That's why, they said something very interesting to Tony Iommi. He goes, so what do you guys like now? He goes, well, what we did is 3 days after the tour ended, we all got together and met and rehearsed one last time, because we never really got to talk on the tour. It wasn't like the old days that you checked into a hotel and went to the Holiday Inn and got hammered till 8 o'clock. Now you have a life. You look at things differently, and you go to your room, and then a car picks us up, and we drive separately to the fucking gig, And At times I think that's bad, but at times I think that's great. I don't want to hang out with 20 people when I do comedy. I don't want nobody there. You know, like I'm so focused in on what I'm at. I don't sell t-shirts at my show. I could use the money. You could use the money. I don't want to worry about it that in between shows. I want to say hello to a couple people in between shows, go back there and focus on my next show and my breathing and what I got to do and, you know, put my feet up so my blood don't conglomerate. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so much preparation. So, I don't even know how we got in this conversation. It really doesn't fucking matter. This motherfucking weed is tremendous. You follow me? But I'm happy that you explain to these young guys that listen to this podcast that everybody does have a purpose.
Yep.
You just have to. It's not going to fucking knock on your door. It never does.
No, but usually it's that voice in your head.
It's that voice in your head.
And sometimes you have to like shut the fuck up and listen to it. And those voices were going to give you hints and ideas and tell you little things. And once in a while, you're going to connect with one of them. And that's going to be your purpose. That's going to be the one that you're going to wake up every day of your life and fight for that purpose.
Well, Rudy, you really have 3 voices in your head. You have the good voice that tells you you could do this, that you're better than that guy. You know, every comic will tell you, why did you become a comic? Because I was sitting there one night and a comic came on and I go, hey, I'm better than this guy. I could do this. End the story, you know. You have the other voice that tells you that you'll never amount to nothing, that you'll never be that good, so why are you going to try it anyway? And then you have the other voice that's the voice of fear that tells you, you know what? Why are you even thinking about that? Stay on the couch. Hang out on the couch. Watch TV. Sit here with your girlfriend. That's it. This is what you do.
You know what? Those last 2 they're barely.
They're cousins. I don't have them no more.
Yeah.
I don't have
was
them
just
no
gonna
more.
say that,
Eventually,
yeah.
you just beat them down.
Yeah.
Eventually, they don't even show up to the neighborhood no more.
Exactly.
Because they know that they're not going to win. Even if they
That's
team
right.
up with somebody.
That's right.
Even if they team up with somebody.
Yeah.
If somebody comes to me and says, hey, man, I'm having a fucking party tomorrow night at 8:30, you got to be there. Guess what? I got to show it AF. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
And that's the correlation you got to met. The weak side of you will go, fuck comedy or fuck the show. I'll go to a party. You know what I'm saying? That's the sucker side of you.
Yeah.
And then the fear side of you will fucking convince you not to go to the party for the dumbest reasons in the world. The good voice is the one that beats everybody out.
Yeah.
With 3 or 4 words. He doesn't even say much.
Yeah.
You know, that's the voice that you have to learn to listen to.
Absolutely.
And that's the last one we want to listen to.
And like for me, well, just hearing you guys say that, what I think I need to work on is realizing which voice is talking to you, because they all sound the same. As weird as that sounds, they can all be as convincing, and you kind of have...
No.
You
The
don't
other 2 are convincing because that's, you know, the other 2, fear is the most convincing one. That motherfucker will scare the pants out of you. And then your natural voice is the one that say, "Why you want to go down to the rainbow for? Nothing's going to happen down there. You're going to bring down there, you're going to go up with your guitar, you're going to do your 2 songs for 5 minutes apiece, and you're going to go home." And in 2 weeks, you find out that fucking Rudy was down there rehearsing for his new band, looking for people. And, you know, when you have a purpose, or AKA a dream, nothing gets in the way of it. And that's the problem that people really, really have. That they start letting things get in the way of it. They in fact, they welcome things getting in the way of it so they don't have to deal with it. There's so many aspects they just not want to deal with. It's 2018. I'm happy Rudy even brought this up. We were going to come on here and talk about hired guns and how they get them $200 a week and they make them fucking sleep in the top bunk and shit. We'll talk about that next time, because this conversation turned out to be better, because there's a lot of people sitting in life, I think, at times that are just stuck. And it's not their fault, Rudy. It's not their fault. They're surrounded. They got 3 people who are stuck next to them.
Yep.
They got this, they got that, they got personal guilt. Well, who would take care of my mother? Your mother's fine. Your mother was here 20, 30 years before you got here.
Right.
And she'll be 92 years here after you're fucking gone. You know, we all have these excuses, and fuck it. Just go for it. Who gives a fuck? It's your life. Who gives a fuck? If you don't do it your way, it's not gonna, I don't give a fuck. I'm happy I did. You know, I was thinking this Christmas, I had a good Christmas with my daughter. She's about to be 5. You know, we had a great time. But a certain Christmas sticks out in my mind. The pictures that you saw, Lee, from Christmas '94, when I told Lee I had my other daughter, the one that's 28 now, the one that we don't talk. And I thought about that Christmas, how I had to rob a Christmas tree. Rudy had to rob a Christmas tree from a lot.
I've done that.
And take the money that people left.
Yeah.
Somebody left cash, I took the money, and I came back a year later and paid it back.
Yeah.
I had to put duct tape on that fucking thing, you know?
Yeah.
And I think about, and this is the truth, it goes back to Man on Fire. I had to give up a life for a life. I gave up being a father so I could be a comedian. It sounded weird. Does it sound weird to you?
I did the same thing.
I sacrificed for that.
Yeah.
A lot of people might say, well, you walked away. I didn't do nothing. I paid my child support. Check it out. Go to court. I'll give you the fucking numbers. I tried to be in touch. It just didn't work. And at the end of the day, now I see what I see is, you know, my life for their life. I gave you her life. I gave up being a father 20 years ago for this career of comedy.
Yeah.
And to this day, if I didn't tell you it pains me, it pains me. There's times I say if I had a second chance, I wouldn't have done it. Even with the things that I reached, the movies and doing TV and the comedy, I still say it wasn't worth it. But what would I be today? I would still be snorting coke in Boulder and half dead.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah. I didn't have a child, you know, with any of my girlfriends, but I did give up on having a family because, like I mentioned before, I don't want to drag my wife through all the sacrifices, all the shit that I had to go through, you know, to get to where I'm at today. I was going to do it alone. Nobody else was going to be, you know, punished by being with me. So I did it by myself, you know. And 36 years ago, Christmas, I was sleeping on the floor. I woke up. I sang Happy Birthday to Jesus. That's all I had. But I was destitute. I didn't have any money.
It was 1980?
81.
80.
No, 80. 1980. 37 years ago. 37 Christmas ago. I got to tell you, my gift was peace. I've been making peace with God. That I found my purpose. I didn't know how it was gonna wind up happening, but at that moment I was more sure than ever that I was gonna be a musician for the rest of my life. Nothing, you know, no alternatives, no plan B, nothing. That was my gift. The best gift I've ever received for Christmas in my whole life, or ever, having that peace of mind with God. And every Christmas I think about that.
It's a beautiful thing. So we're
Sure
the
is.
podcast. Happy New Year to you, Rudy.
Happy New Year to you too, Coco.
If you have not watched Hired Guns on Netflix, you are fucking not getting an education.
And it's just coming from a point of view of someone who's not a music fan from all the bands they were speaking of. I found it very interesting.
That was interesting as shit.
Yeah.
You know what's really interesting? That it's trending. It was like every night it's like top, you know, number 1 or 2 most popular and trending. So it must really be connecting with people out there.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Well, anyway, let's end this motherfucking podcast. Like I tell you guys at the beginning of the show. Listen, when I was working for a sports betting service, one December I made a ton of fucking loot, like 60 grand. Because December is the biggest month for sports that there is. You got pro hoops, you got the beginning of college hoops, you got the college bowl, you got pro football playoffs, you got hockey. I mean, if you're going to make a little fucking Gitas, this is time of the year to make a Gitas. Tonight there's a bowl. I forget what bowl it is tonight. Something bowl. Then tomorrow night there's another. I mean, come on. If you're going to make money, bowl season's here. It's time to get on the action. And that's why I'm talking to you about my bookie. Are you sick and tired of getting the runaround when you ask for your payout? Sign up at mybookie.ag today and get paid fast when you win. MyBookie is your hookup for all your betting needs. And if you can even deposit using Bitcoin. How's that for you? That's how fucking strong MyBookie is, cocksucker. So where you bet is just as important as who or what you're betting on. And if you want to make money betting the bowl games, you got to go with mybookie.ag. They're the only site I recommend, period. I trust them, but you don't have to take my word for it. Check them out yourself. They got odds on every matchup as well as every game, live betting on all this season's NFL and bowl games. What I'm going to do to you is this. Join today. Get ready for this weekend is your fucking weekend. You keep crying, you got no money, you need a suit, you want your dick sucked, but you're only getting $200. I'm telling you how to pick up. Tonight you bet, you pick up fucking Saturday, Sunday morning, and you can see the Colombian, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Go to MyBookie and we'll match your deposit with up to a 50% bonus. You're going to use promo code CHURCH, CHURCH, to activate this offer. When you visit mybookie.ag today and use promo code CHURCH, you play, you win, you get paid. And if you're going to bet, this is the only place to bet. mybookie.ag. Now go get fucking paid, cocksuckers. Like I told you earlier, listen, I know you're setting up your goals and everything. You want a wife, everybody wants this, everybody wants that. But have you considered when was the last time you scratched your fucking balls and sniffed them? When was the last time, ladies, you finger banged yourself and smelt that fucking onion? During the day, that onion gets fucking stinky, and so does your nutsack. And you take your shit and you combine everything. Guess what it smells like down there? A fucking zoo. You don't need that in your life. What you need is HelloTushy.com. You're like, Joey, what's Hello Tushy? It's a fucking portable bidet. Did you see a bunch of people tweeted them yesterday? How good and fucking, I mean, they're beautiful, and it takes 15 minutes. You don't even need a plumber. You can do it yourself. I did it myself, and I'm a fucking idiot. And guess what happens? Once you install this, your life will change. Rudy, you won't leave the house. I won't even see you. You won't even come on the podcast no more. You'll call up, and I'll go, Rudy, you're not coming over? No. Because I'm sitting on my Hello Tushy bidet.
I grew up with bidet in Cuba. Every home in Havana had a bidet.
That little hot water hitting your ass. Where are you going to go? What's the rush? Tell Ozzy to wait. Tell Ozzy to wait. He waited 20 years. Tell him to go get teeth and get back to me. You know what I'm saying? If you want a clean ass in 2018, it all starts with a fucking bidet, a portable bidet. Now you're going to tell me, well, Joey, I got toilet paper. Well, and then again on the second side, you're telling me that you're concerned about the rainforest and all that shit. Listen, Tushy Bidet will clean your ass better than any fucking toilet paper on the market. And it uses nice, clean water to spray your butt, providing you with a shower fresh fucking feeling every time you poop. You ever just stick your finger in your ass and touch the rims and shit and sniff it, and you're like, it smells like skin? Tremendous. That's what you want. And on top of that, you'll have no more skid marks, no more dingleberries hanging from your fucking pubic hairs. Just an asshole cleaner than a white fucking Christmas. They now come in a millennial pink and a blue to add a pop of color to your bathroom. And with two models with fancy bamboo knobs. And they start at $69. You understand me? You're going to sit there and tell me that you're going to let fucking $69 be the difference from your asshole smelling like a sewer than from your asshole smelling like flowers? Go to HelloTushy.com and use code CHURCH, CHURCH, and get 10% off your order today, right now, today. And get one for your girlfriend, too. You ever smell her asshole after fucking 3 Burger Kings? It smells like fucking death. That's not ever going to happen again, because you're going to get her a Hello Tushy bidet today. Go to HelloTushy.com right now and use promo code CHURCH to have a cleaner asshole in 2018. And to start the 2018 with a fucking bang, it's mybookie.ag. I love yous all. I wish yous all fucking the best in 2018. We'll be back Monday night, 8 o'clock, ready to rock your motherfucking world. If you want to know more about Rudy, was there a webpage? Is there a...
Yeah, I'm easy to find. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
He's everywhere. Reach out, tell him hello, and ask him if he's playing in your town soon, all right? I love you motherfuckers. Happy New Year. Be safe on New Year's Eve, and we'll see you back here New Year's Day, 8 o'clock. Tip Top Magoo, ready to eat fucking mushrooms, acid, sugar pills, fucking stars of death. We're going to he's healing right now, Lee. You know, he's got the bronchitis. He's on the pills. But fucking January 1st, we're coming out of here vengeance. I love you guys. Thank you for all the support and the love. Have a great new year, and we'll see you guys on Monday. Stay black.